Hey folks, Jonathan here. We're back. Been doing a little bit of touch up and welding on the tank. Wasn't too bad. We probably had, I don't know, 6 or 8 leaks, little ones. And the only thing we got now is around the valve stem where I put it in. It's leaking a little bit, but I think it's going to be fine. Everything else is fixed. Now I put this in the location where the fill goes. So what we'll do now is we're going to put the sediment bow in the bottom, and then we'll take this fill out, and then we will. Anna, hey, are you not going to go in there and do a CAT scan? Huh? Check it out. Let me know how bad of a job we done on a wooden block. Now. Alright, tell everybody hey. Tell them how fat you're getting. How much weight you need to lose. That's why Mama made it come out today. No more house. It's too warm outside. Okay, so I kind of figured that they had made this pipe. This is the pickup. I figured they made it longer and made it come down into that sediment bowl just a little ways, and that would keep it from leaning one side or the other and having problems, because there's no baffles in this tank, but you know, it looks like, I may be wrong, it goes right to the bottom and that's it. So I kind of figured it went on down, so I don't think that matters, because I was worried about getting it lined up exactly in the same spot, and which I've got to do partially anyway, because it's got to fit down in that hole. But let's see what we've got here. We're going to clean it up some and see what it's going to take to get that off of there. Okay, I think I have changed my mind on this. I think what we're going to do, we'll put a good filter system on, run an electric fuel pump. So we're going to put a good filter system on with a water separator, and we're not going to run this in the tank, but we are going to go ahead and put a drain on it in that same location if we need to drain it. But I'm not going to worry about the sediment bowl in the bottom of the tank. I don't think, I guess it'd be nice to have, but it's not a necessity, and it's going to take that much more time and trouble to get it on there. So I think I'll weld a bung in it, get the plug in it, and then we'll do an air test on it. And then if it passes there, we'll just go ahead and start putting the filter neck in. And then we'll be done with it. Well, we got fittings up top to do, but they're not hard to do. Okay folks, haven't done much filming, but the fuel tank is done and in, tested, and back in where it needs to be. I put some rubber, like floor mat material, under it and above it, and painted the tank really good and really heavy. And matter of fact, I just had some paint that someone had given me a bunch of cans of, and I just started spraying, and I put, I don't know how many coats on it, but it's on there good and thick. Pipe right there. Can't make the turn it needs to make, and I got 2 of them, so I'm going to make an elbow. So I was working on the exhaust, and I needed to do an elbow because this stuff won't bend a sharp 90. And I just got lucky and I found one on some bus exhaust, so I cut it off. And I just got to put 2 more clamps on it, so that'll take care of all of our exhaust. And I was working on the filter system here. I was going to see how clogged this filter was, and there wasn't a filter in it, and it was dirty in there, so that's not good. So I don't know what actual element that used. It don't use a spin on. I think I'm going to just regroup and go with a different style filter, and the same with this, because this is going to be a element filter also. So I think we're just going to do away with these, because I got to rerun the new lines anyway. We'll take both of these off, and we'll just put a span on it, and something we can get a replacement for easy. And then we're going to move the fuel pump over toward the gas tank, and or the diesel tank, and that way it's pushing and it don't have so much suction on it. And let me see, what else do we do? I stuck a couple gauges in. There's our voltmeter and our temperature. Got to get an oil pressure in. I can't find my oil pressure. I thought I had one. I may have to buy one. So Everything else is good to go. Like I said, we're just going to continue to run the electric fuel pump. I'm going to change this out to an alternator, and I know, you know, I can make it work. It's not a big deal. I'd have to put a regulator on it, but I don't have a 12-volt regulator. It's just as easy to throw a one-wire alternator on it because we're not restoring. We're just trying to make this thing a good usable machine. So that's the plan there. And something about the filter system, and then we're going to get this thing wired. I went and bought, these are not cheap by any means, but I picked up a filter housing and a filter with a water separator. We're just going to run one for now. I mean, we know we got a new fuel tank. We just got to deal with whatever fuel we put in it. So there's the filter. So I'm going to take these two off, and I'm going to mount one of them here in place, I think. I don't know, I might mount on the other side. There's no reason really to run to this side anymore. Fuel tank's on the other side, and the fuel inlet is on the other side, so really there's no reason to bring everything over here and then back over. Fuel pump's over here, but we're running an electric pump. But them transfer pumps are not real expensive for these. It's missing the little square, so it's not driving. That pump's not turning, so you don't have to worry about it burning up, because it's just not going to happen. I just bolted the pump back on there to make sure no oil leaked out around. So we'll just leave it there and use it sort of like a block-off plate. It's not a big issue. And I do like the mechanical better, and we may change to the mechanical later, but for now we're going to run the electric. I wish these doors would move. I could get my skid steer, try to hook that and push it, but they're tight, very, very tight. And I'm going to bet that once we move them, we're going to realize that they probably didn't paint the other one either. They probably had it open when they painted it. So, all right, let's see what we can get figured out. All right, folks, I don't think we got a choice now. We're going to have to make some doors. I've bent these things up, getting them off. Of course, they were rotted at the bottoms of them anyway, where they sit in that track, so it wasn't a big deal. But yeah, I want to get them off where I can get everything cleaned good, and then we're going to remake them and put new ones on it. And I've got the extra sheet metal to do it, so it's not a big issue. And we'll end up making the other side too. Takes a couple of smaller pieces. Seriously debating on straightening this out some and then possibly cutting it and replacing this whole center section over. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we're going to consider that and try to get it straightened out some anyway. I don't want it to look like it got in an accident with a train. Some of this stuff, like, let me show you here. This dent. Okay, I don't think I can pull that. I'm sure I can't. I'd have to cut it out. This is actually 3/8 thick material. I don't know if you can see or not, but yeah, it's 3/8 thick. Really took something to bend that thing. So I don't know. We might see what we can do about straightening it out some, but who knows. But anyway, I'm going to continue to get this cleaned out, to get the wiring done, to get the fuel hooked up right, and we got to get our air cleaner hooked up right. This thing to where we can actually get in it and hit the switch and start it up and not have so many issues with you know, the way that it is. So, I don't want it, like I said, I don't need it to be a 30-minute job to get it started every time I want to use it. So, all right, let me get at it. All right, folks, so here's what we got. Got a battery in. Got wires hooked up. I just used wire I had. I didn't put anything on it. I'd have put bigger on it if I'd have bought them, but small gauge. But it don't take much to start this thing. So got a deal on the battery. So bought 2 batteries today and figured I'd just go with the big one because the price was right. Let me see. We got a pipe on the air filter. I don't like using that on there, but I think I'm going to put rubber on the top of each end of it. But I mean, it's better than nothing, but I mean, even if I duct tape the end of it, would be better than what I got, but it'll work for now. And let me see, I've got the bottom cleaned up and getting ready to put it on with the oil in it. So we'll have some air cleaner. And like I said, the exhaust is done. And everything's looking really good. It's getting there. I'm going to start running some wires and running a fuel pump over here. I need to mount it somewhere, so we'll get that done. Got to mount the filter. So, all right, let's keep at it. All right, folks, mounted the filter on this side, as you can see, and just trying to make sure I don't want to, have it in the way of anything. I think the battery originally mounted right here, but this battery is a little bit big, so we're going to keep it right there. And I'm actually going to mount it so it can't move around, which is not bad to do. It's pretty easy to do. And we just drill holes and use J-bolts in it, and then run a strap across it and bolt it down. Let me see. The fuel pump's going to mount over here close to the tank. We're going to do something. I don't want to mount it directly down on this floor. I might mount it up, a couple inches off the floor with a bracket. We'll get it up a little bit, and then all we've got to do is pipe in from here. And I'll show you I may have already shown this, but this is our fuel inlet. So we've already got fuel in it. I put 5 gallons in it. It's a 40-gallon tank, so we can add some more. I think somebody said they'd done the measurements and it come out to 38 gallons, which is probably right. They advertised it being 40-gallon, but I wouldn't doubt if it was a little difference. So we're ready with it, and then we got to get our return back into there, and that'll be pretty easy. Now, the fuel inlet for this engine is actually on the back of the head on this side, so it's not going to be a problem to come right down to this fitting. And we'll just use rubber hose on everything. It's short and close enough. It's not going to be that big of an issue. And we'll be opening this up and looking at this often enough to, if there's any issues, we can address them. So anyway, that's why I wanted to get these doors off here, because these doors need to be able to slide back and forth good. And the way that they were, you couldn't even see in here good. You had to climb up and over, and I'd done all that starter work in there, and it was pretty hard to do because of that. And also, I wanted to add, this does have a little pre-filter before the fuel pump, and then we've got the big filter. And the difference between a filter and a water separator, this is a filter, but it's also a water separator because it's got the drain on the bottom. Just makes it a lot more expensive, but we can drain water and anything else out that gets in there that we don't want in there. So coming right along, looking good. Appreciate everybody watching. Till next time, bye.